Hi there, everybody. Well, my name is Pedro, and I don't know, I'm starting a new channel, and this is not the content that I actually am going to be doing, but however, I thought it would be really good to note this or to state this because I had the craziest evening ever with an Uber driver. What happened was, um, first to begin with, I've always had great experiences with Uber, and I switched from taxi cabs, which were, I don't know, questionable drivers and whatnot, dirty cabs. Yeah, so I went on to Uber and I found the experience great. They were comfy. And vehicles were comfortable. They were really nice. The drivers were even great. I've probably taken them about 50 times now. It's been like maybe a few years now that I've been using them. But unfortunately, tonight actually was the worst time ever. Um, so what happened was I called an Uber, and and he came. We went outside to the vehicle. I did the same thing I always do with my children. I let them in first so they're safe and to go in to get ready to be seatbelted in and whatnot. And the driver looks at me and says, "Oh, your children need to be in car seats." I was like, "What do you mean car seats? They're almost they're 8 and 10, and they were over 80 pounds. They're they're so big for car seats. It was pretty well ridiculous." He said they need to be in car seats just because the fact if I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get a ticket. He was really worried about that. He was going to get in trouble. And I stated, how would you? They are old enough. They haven't been in a car seat since they were like 4 years old, and now as today they are almost 9 and 11. So yeah, so we argued a little bit back and forth. I told him this is ridiculous. You don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're talking about. This is odd. I've never been treated this way. And it's actually true. I've taken those Ubers for, like I said, a few years now. I've probably taken like 50 trips. I've been in an Uber with friends. I've been in an Uber with family, like my mother, who's a senior, to take her to, say, walk-in clinics, hairdressers, whatnot, right? And most of all, my children, and probably more. I've taken more Uber trips with my children than anyone actually, and in all times, never had an issue, not one issue at all, till tonight. Um, so what happened was, yeah, like I said, we got into the Uber, and he stated, "Oh, they need car seats." And I said, "What do you mean?" My kids are 8 and 10. They're big. What do they need them? Oh, I will get in trouble and whatnot. So then we argued a little bit back and forth. He looked up on Google. He looked exactly it. He looked on Google, and it stated that children need to be, by law in Manitoba, where I live, they need to be in child seats if they are 9 and under or 80 pounds and under, which both my kids are over 80 pounds, and they're quite big. Yeah, and after that, he did not believe me. He still was really fixated on that, that they really needed those seats. Even though he had no proof, there was nothing. We left. I was very mad. We left, and so after that leaving, I got mad at him. I just said, "Hey, I want my money back. Like, you've got to refund this. This is ridiculous." He said, "Yeah, we will refund it. I'm sorry. I'll cancel your trip, and that's it. And the money will be refunded." Something like that, in along those lines. And after that, okay, we left. I was like, really, like, what just happened? This is just crazy, right? And so as I got home and I looked at the Uber app, I was charged a cancellation fee, like $6.73. I mean, that's not much, but the principle of it was, I was basically, I felt like I got robbed. I felt like we got discriminated. Well, my children got discriminated for their age and whatnot, for their looks. And then yeah, he threw us out, basically, stating that he wouldn't drive us. And so he canceled the fees. He canceled the trip, and then I got charged this fee, which I thought was, what the heck is going on here? So basically, he kicked us out, and now Uber robbed us, basically. They kicked us out, and like it was no doing of our own. The cancellation was no doing of our own, but still we got kicked out, got charged for it. So I'm very disappointed, and I'm just letting everyone know as a warning that just to watch out for these types of things. Like, I definitely understand 100% a child who would be, say, 8 years old, younger, whatnot, lesser than 80 pounds, as the laws state, that they need to be, because they need to be in the car seats for that, at that age, at that height, or that age, at that weight. And yeah, and I do for sure 100% understand, because you need to have your kids buckled in properly. Just like every time now I take out my kids in an Uber, they always have to have their seatbelt on, and they do. They always have to have their seatbelt on before we take off, and that's never been a problem. Like I said, I've taken Uber for like 50 times, almost like 2 years I've been using it, and never had this issue before tonight. And I'm just very disappointed in this Uber driver. I'm really hoping that as I've connected with Uber, like, and that was the other part of it too, on my Uber app, trying to call support, but I could not find anything. I couldn't find a number, nothing, no link, no easy, access portal to get to it. So I had to dig around. I found something else. It was called the Lost and Found support. Tried that. That was my last resort. And yeah, I got a hold of someone. They're gonna switch me off to the right department, apparently. So I'm just gonna be waiting on that. But this is just for everybody. Just be careful. If you have a child, 8 years old and maybe even a little older, whatnot, just be careful of that. It can happen to you. They may ask you, they may comment and whatnot, but just to warn you guys ahead of time. But I'm really disappointed in Uber, and I hope they're going to reimburse me. And it's left a bad taste in my mouth where I'm going to be going more now towards Lyft, a different service that we have also here. Also, probably in the States, they have the same one. I'm not too sure, but I think they do. And yeah, we're just going to go from there. So something to watch out for. It was a terrible experience. And the kicker of it was, let's see, my kids, my kid's mother and I are not together, so it was a visitation. They were visiting me at the time. They had a sleepover just the night before, so and I was just trying to bring them home because it was nighttime. They needed to go home to go to bed, and they were wearing their pajamas at the time. And in all this, we're getting kicked out. It's cold. We're in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Everyone says it's really cold out, and everyone says this is the coldest city in the world or whatnot compared to Antarctica apparently. And we got kicked out. I told the guy, hey, my kids are not even dressed properly. They were in pajamas, They're jackets, of course, but they're in pajamas. Like, what's going on here? We just wanted to have a ride to get to their house, so I can bring them home. That failed miserably, and okay. So, I don't know. This is a warning, I guess, to everyone. And yes, so thank you for your time and listening. See you later.